Have you ever wondered what makes a movie truly unforgettable? Not just popular, not just flashy, but a film that resonates across decades, touches hearts, and challenges minds? Few people understood this magic better than Roger Ebert, the legendary film critic whose words could make or break a movie, but also celebrate its genius like no one else. Today, we're diving into his personal vault, the 10 greatest films of all time, according to Ebert himself. From silent-era masterpieces to modern cinematic meditations, these movies aren't just stories on screen, they're experiences. Buckle up, because you're about to see Hollywood and world cinema through the eyes of a true master. Aguirre, The Wrath of God, 1972. Imagine the jungle, endless, oppressive, dripping with danger, and filled with the echo of human ambition gone wrong. That's where Werner Herzog takes us in Aguirre, The Wrath of God, a film that Roger Ebert hailed as one of the greatest ever made. And at its center is Klaus Kinski, whose eyes burn with obsession, madness, and the unrelenting pursuit of power. The story follows Don Lope de Aguirre, a Spanish conquistador leading a doomed expedition down the Amazon in search of El Dorado. It's a tale of greed, pride, and the fragility of humanity, and Herzog captures it like no one else could. Every shot, every frame, is soaked in sweat, mud, and tension. The river isn't just a backdrop, it's a character, pushing the men toward insanity as surely as their own ambition does. Did you know Herzog shot the film on location in the sweltering Amazon without modern comforts or guarantees of safety? The cast endured relentless heat, disease-carrying insects, and unpredictable wildlife. Kinski, famously volatile, made the shoot legendary, shouting, threatening, and often walking off set. Yet Herzog insisted on keeping the chaos, knowing it fueled the film's raw energy. Ebert admired Aguirre not just for its visuals, but for its psychological depth. The film examines how obsession corrodes the human spirit, how ambition can blind even the strongest minds, and how madness often wears the mask of determination. With the final shot, Aguirre drifting alone on a raft, his empire of dreams collapsing, the audience feels both awe and horror. Herzog's genius lies in his ability to make nature, ambition, and human frailty collide. The Amazon becomes a mirror for Aguirre's soul, wild, unpredictable, and utterly merciless. It's a film that lingers, that whispers in your mind long after the screen goes dark. Aguirre, The Wrath of God, isn't just a movie. It's an experience, a journey into obsession, madness, and the extraordinary power of cinema. Roger Ebert knew this, and so will you, once you step into Herzog's merciless, breathtaking world. Apocalypse Now, 1979. Imagine a war that isn't just fought in jungles, but inside the human mind. That's the world Francis Ford Coppola drags us into with Apocalypse Now, a film Roger Ebert called one of the greatest movies ever made. And for good reason. It's more than a Vietnam War story. It's a descent into chaos, madness, and moral ambiguity, where every river bend could hide danger, and every shadow reflects our darkest impulses. The film follows Captain Benjamin Willard, Martin Sheen, on a mission upriver to find the rogue Colonel Kurtz, Marlon Brando, a man who has abandoned the rules of civilization to embrace his own terrifying, godlike authority. From the opening scene to the infamous helicopter assault set to Wagner, Apocalypse Now overwhelms the senses with imagery, sound, and emotion. Every frame is meticulously crafted to blur the line between reality and nightmare. Did you know the production itself became legendary for chaos? Coppola faced typhoons, budget overruns, illness, and actors' personal crises, including Martin Sheen suffering a near-fatal heart attack on set. Yet Coppola embraced the disorder, believing that the madness surrounding the film would fuel its authenticity. It's as if the Vietnam jungle outside the camera lens seeped directly into the story, shaping performances and framing the film in a visceral, unforgettable way. Ebert admired Apocalypse Now, not just for its spectacle, but for its exploration of human nature. The journey upriver is a metaphor for confronting the darkness within ourselves, and Kurtz's eerie philosophical monologues confront viewers with uncomfortable truths about morality, power, and the thin line separating civilization from savagery. From the haunting music to the smoke-filled skies and the rivers that twist like veins of madness, Apocalypse Now immerses the audience in a sensory experience few films dare to attempt. It's a story of obsession, fear, and the human capacity for destruction, all told with cinematic poetry. Coppola's masterpiece isn't just watched, it's survived. Roger Ebert recognized that this was a film that would linger, haunt, and challenge anyone who dares to navigate its treacherous waters. Apocalypse Now proves that sometimes cinema doesn't just reflect reality. It drags you deep into its currents, leaving you changed, unsettled, and utterly captivated. Citizen Kane, 1941. Some films don't just tell a story. They reshape the language of cinema itself. That's exactly what Orson Welles accomplished with Citizen Kane, a movie Roger Ebert often cited as one of the greatest ever made. Released in 1941, it wasn't just a tale of a man's rise and fall. It was a revolution in how stories could be told, framed, and experienced. At the center is Charles Foster Kane, a publishing magnate whose life seems larger than the world around him. From his humble beginnings to the heights of wealth and power, Kane's journey is one of ambition, isolation, and the haunting question, what is Rosebud? Every scene, every shadow, every camera angle works together to create a cinematic puzzle, one that challenges viewers to understand not just Kane, but the human desire for control, recognition, and meaning. Did you know that Welles and cinematographer Greg Toland pioneered techniques that became standard in Hollywood? Deep focus shots, low-angle perspectives that made ceilings loom above characters, and inventive lighting all combined to give Citizen Kane a visual language that felt entirely new. Even today, filmmakers study its framing, composition, and narrative structure as a blueprint for storytelling mastery. Ebert admired the film not just for its technical brilliance, but for its emotional and thematic depth. Kane's pursuit of power is matched by his isolation, his inability to connect, and the mystery of a simple childhood sled, Rosebud. That final revelation is more than a plot twist. It's a meditation on memory, regret, and the ephemeral nature of life's treasures. Beyond the story, the production itself was audacious. Welles, only 25, demanded unprecedented creative control from a studio, challenging norms and insisting on innovations that terrified executives. Yet his vision triumphed, proving that risk, imagination, and determination could redefine what a movie could be. Citizen Kane isn't just watched, it's dissected, celebrated, and revered. It's a cinematic mountain looming over every film that followed. Roger Ebert recognized it as a masterpiece, not only for its story, but for its audacity, its intellect, and its emotional resonance. In the end, Citizen Kane reminds us that cinema can do more than entertain. It can immortalize, challenge, and inspire. A single sled, a lifetime of ambition, and one director's fearless vision created a film that still commands awe over 80 years later. La Dolce Vita, 1060, Rome at night. Glittering lights reflected in fountains, paparazzi flashes cutting through the dark, and a man wandering through the city in search of meaning, pleasure, and a life he can barely grasp. That's Federico Fellini's La Dolce Vita, a film Roger Ebert celebrated as one of the greatest ever made, a portrait of decadence, longing, and the bittersweet sweetness of life itself. At the center is Marcello Rubini, a gossip journalist navigating the dizzying highs and crushing lows of Rome's elite society. He moves between lavish parties, empty encounters, and fleeting romances, all while wrestling with questions about love, purpose, and fulfillment. Fellini captures the paradox of excess, beauty and indulgence on the surface, emptiness and yearning underneath. Did you know that the iconic Trevi fountain scene, with Anita Ekberg wading into its waters, almost didn't happen as planned? Fellini improvised much of the sequence, using the natural reflections and night lighting to create a dreamlike, unforgettable moment that has become a symbol of cinematic allure. Every frame of La Dolce Vita is composed with painterly precision, blending reality, fantasy, and a sense of melancholy that lingers long after the credits roll. Ebert admired the film for its audacity. Fellini didn't simply tell a story, he held a mirror up to society, showing the glamour, the obsession, and the spiritual emptiness of a culture obsessed with appearances. Marcello's journey is a meditation on human desire, the search for meaning, and the fleeting nature of pleasure. The production itself was legendary. Fellini encouraged improvisation, capturing spontaneous reactions from his actors and even the crowds around him, creating a film that feels alive, chaotic, and intoxicating. That energy pulses through every scene, making viewers feel like they're wandering Rome alongside Marcello, lost, enchanted, and searching for something just out of reach. La Dolce Vita isn't just a movie, it's an experience. Its beauty, melancholy, and cultural insight make it timeless. Roger Ebert knew that Fellini had created more than a film. He had created a cinematic poem, a mirror of society, and a lasting testament to the power of storytelling. Notorious, 1946. Imagine espionage, romance, and danger wrapped in elegance. That's Alfred Hitchcock's Notorious, a film Roger Ebert hailed as one of the greatest of all time. It's a story that moves like a finely tuned suspense watch. Every tick, every glance, every whispered word carries weight, tension, and intrigue. At the center is Alicia Huberman, Ingrid Bergman, a woman caught between loyalty and love, morality and manipulation. She's recruited by government agent T.R. Devlin, Cary Grant, to infiltrate a group of ex-Nazis in South America. The story unfolds as a high-stakes dance, seduction, deception, and danger lurking in every shadow. Hitchcock's genius lies in how he makes suspense intimate. Every camera angle, every close-up, and every lingering pause tells us as much about the character's emotions as the plot itself. Did you know that Hitchcock famously used a long, continuous tracking shot to follow Grant and Bergman through a crowded party? It wasn't just stylistic flair, it was a storytelling choice, pulling viewers into the world of intrigue while revealing subtle character dynamics and building mounting tension. Hitchcock believed that suspense isn't just about events, it's about what the audience feels in the quiet, unspoken moments. Ebert admired Notorious not only for its technical brilliance, but for its emotional depth. The love story between Bergman and Grant isn't just romantic. It's morally complex, tense, and impossible to forget. Bergman's vulnerability and strength, Grant's charm and moral struggle all play against a backdrop of danger that keeps viewers on the edge of their seats. Behind the scenes, the film itself pushed boundaries. The production code demanded careful navigation of adult themes, yet Hitchcock turned these constraints into a playground for tension, innuendo, and narrative ingenuity. Notorious isn't just a spy thriller, it's a masterclass in cinematic craft, blending suspense, romance, and moral complexity in a way few films have ever achieved. Roger Ebert recognized it as a timeless triumph, proof that Hitchcock's meticulous vision and storytelling genius could create a film that thrills, captivates, and lingers for generations. In the end, Notorious reminds us that cinema can seduce, terrify, and move audiences all at once, and Hitchcock was the maestro orchestrating every heartbeat. Raging Bull, 1980. Some movies don't just tell a story, they punch you in the chest, leave you bruised, and refuse to let go. That's exactly what Martin Scorsese achieved with Raging Bull, a film Roger Ebert called one of the greatest ever made. It's a story of fury, obsession, and self-destruction. And at its heart is Jake LaMotta, a boxer whose rage outside the ring is even more dangerous than inside it. Robert De Niro transforms into LaMotta with astonishing intensity. Did you know De Niro gained over 60 pounds to portray the older, retired LaMotta? He studied the boxer obsessively, spending months shadowboxing, learning the style, and capturing every nuance of LaMotta's aggression, insecurity, and volatility. His performance doesn't just show a man fighting opponents, it shows a man battling himself. The film's black and white cinematography, courtesy of Michael Chapman, amplifies its raw power. Every punch, every movement, every shadowed corner of LaMotta's life is framed with precision, making the audience feel the physical and emotional toll of a man consumed by rage. The boxing sequences, shot like brutal ballets, are as much about inner turmoil as physical combat. Ebert admired Raging Bull not only for De Niro's transformative performance, but for Scorsese's fearless direction. The film is a meditation on obsession, jealousy, and self-destruction. LaMotta's struggles with fame, love, and his own temper create a portrait of a man trapped in his own body and mind, unable to escape the fury that defines him. Behind the scenes, the production was as intense as the story. Scorsese pushed his actors, crew, and the filmmaking process to the edge to capture authenticity. The result is a film that doesn't just depict life, it feels lived, raw, and uncomfortably real. Raging Bull isn't merely a sports movie. It's a cinematic experience that immerses the viewer in the chaos of human emotion, the brutality of obsession, and the relentless passage of time. Roger Ebert recognized it as a masterpiece, a film that punches above its weight in every possible way, leaving audiences changed, unsettled, and awestruck. In the end, Raging Bull proves that cinema can be as violent, beautiful, and devastating as life itself. And Scorsese and De Niro deliver that truth with unflinching precision. 2001, A Space Odyssey, 1968. Some films don't just tell a story. They expand your mind, redefine your senses, and leave you questioning reality itself. That's Stanley Kubrick's 2001, A Space Odyssey, a cinematic landmark Roger Ebert considered one of the greatest movies ever made. It's not just a space epic, it's a meditation on evolution, technology, and the mysteries of existence. The film begins with our distant ancestors, moves through the infinite void of space, and lands at the edge of human understanding. Kubrick's storytelling is precise, deliberate, and hypnotic. Every frame is meticulously composed, every movement calculated to immerse the viewer in a universe that feels both vast and intimate. The music, from Strauss's waltzes to Ligeti's eerie choral arrangements, transforms visuals into experiences, making silence, rotation, and light as dramatic as dialogue ever could be. Did you know Kubrick spent over 4 years developing special effects and visual design? He didn't rely on conventional filmmaking. Instead, he invented new techniques, building rotating sets to simulate zero gravity and crafting spaceships with a precision that still astounds filmmakers today. The result isn't just realism, it's poetry in motion. Ebert admired 2001 not only for its technical brilliance but for its philosophical depth. The enigmatic monolith, the evolution of mankind, and the chilling presence of HAL 9000 aren't just plot devices. They are symbols of curiosity, ambition, and the dangers of over-reliance on technology. HAL's calm, methodical voice as it turns on the astronauts is more terrifying than any conventional villain because it reflects the cold logic of a machine surpassing its creators. 2001. A Space Odyssey isn't a movie you merely watch, it's a journey you experience. Kubrick challenges viewers to contemplate humanity, our place in the cosmos, and the limits of perception itself. Every viewing reveals new details, questions, and insights, a testament to the film's timeless power. Roger Ebert recognized it as a masterpiece because it combines spectacle, intellect, and existential awe in a way no other film does. Kubrick didn't just make a movie, he created a cinematic universe, one that continues to inspire, mystify, and redefine what it means to be human in the vastness of space. Tokyo Story, 1953. Some films whisper rather than shout, yet their echoes linger far longer than blockbusters ever could. That's Yasujiro Ozu's Tokyo Story, a quiet masterpiece that Roger Ebert placed among the greatest films of all time. At first glance, it's a simple story. An aging couple visits their grown children in Tokyo, only to find themselves neglected, overlooked, and quietly adrift. But within that simplicity lies a universe of emotion, culture, and human truth. The film centers on Shukichi and Tomi Hirayama, whose children are too busy with their modern lives to truly appreciate the parents who raised them. Ozu's camera captures small gestures, a lingering glance, a slow walk down a hallway, the silence after an unspoken insult, all building a tapestry of love, regret, and generational tension. Every frame is deliberate, every pause resonant, every scene a meditation on life's fleeting, tender moments. Did you know Ozu often used a low camera angle, called the tatami shot, to place viewers at the eye level of his characters sitting on the floor? It creates an intimacy that draws you quietly into their world, making the audience a silent witness to both joy and sorrow. Nothing feels exaggerated, yet everything feels deeply human. Ebert admired Tokyo Story for its honesty and restraint. The film doesn't rely on melodrama or spectacle. Its power comes from observing life as it is. Moments of neglect, small kindnesses, quiet regrets, and the inevitability of aging. It's a film about ordinary people, yet it touches something universal, the unspoken bonds of family, the passage of time, and the bittersweet nature of human relationships. Ozu's mastery lies in subtlety. Each scene flows with calm precision, yet carries emotional weight that builds slowly like a tide. By the end, the audience is left contemplative, touched, and aware of the fragile beauty of life's small, ordinary moments. Tokyo Story isn't just watched, it's experienced. Roger Ebert recognized its quiet genius, proof that cinema doesn't need explosions, grand speeches, or celebrity stars to convey truth. Sometimes the greatest films are the ones that speak softly, yet remain in your heart forever. The General, 1926. Some films are timeless not because of dialogue or drama, but because of sheer ingenuity, daring, and heart. That's Buster Keaton's The General, a silent film masterpiece Roger Ebert celebrated as one of the greatest ever made. It's a story of love, courage, and comedic brilliance set against the backdrop of the American Civil War, a film that proves action, humor, and artistry can coexist in perfect harmony. The plot follows Johnny Gray, a locomotive engineer whose beloved train, the General, is stolen by enemy forces along with his girlfriend, Annabelle. Determined to rescue both, Johnny embarks on a wild chase filled with inventive stunts, mechanical marvels, and physical comedy that only Keaton could orchestrate. Every sequence is meticulously timed, every pratfall executed with precision, and every frame brims with tension and joy. Did you know Keaton performed nearly all of his own stunts? From dangling from moving trains to leaping onto speeding locomotives, he pushed the limits of both human endurance and cinematic spectacle. No wires, no doubles, just Buster, his vision, and a fearless commitment to making the audience gasp and laugh in equal measure. The logistics were staggering, and accidents were almost inevitable, yet Keaton's calm precision turned chaos into art. Ebert admired The General for its combination of technical mastery and emotional resonance. Beyond the laughs and breathtaking stunts lies a story of devotion, determination, and cleverness triumphing over adversity. Johnny isn't just chasing a train. He's chasing love, honor, and the respect of those around him, all while keeping the audience on the edge of their seats. The film's genius isn't limited to comedy or stunts. Keaton's direction and framing are cinematic poetry, balancing visual storytelling with impeccable timing. Every close-up, every wide shot, every pause is crafted to maximize impact and narrative clarity. The General isn't just a silent comedy. It's a testament to human ingenuity, cinematic daring, and timeless storytelling. Roger Ebert recognized it as a masterpiece that continues to inspire filmmakers and thrill audiences nearly a century later. Buster Keaton's The General proves that even without words, a film can convey heroism, humor, and heart, and remain unforgettable for generations. The Tree of Life, 2011. Some films aren't just watched, they're felt, experienced, and even questioned long after the credits roll. That's Terrence Malick's The Tree of Life, a cinematic meditation Roger Ebert ranked among the greatest movies of all time. It's a film that defies conventional storytelling, blending the intimate drama of a Texas family with the grandeur of the cosmos, exploring life, memory, and existence itself. At the heart of the story is Jack O'Brien, Sean Penn, reflecting on his childhood and his complex relationship with his father, Brad Pitt, a man of rigid discipline and profound love. Malick juxtaposes ordinary family struggles, sibling rivalries, parental expectations, and the search for meaning, with awe-inspiring sequences of the universe's creation, from swirling galaxies to dinosaurs roaming prehistoric Earth. The result is a cinematic experience that is both microscopic and infinite. Did you know that Malick filmed much of The Tree of Life using natural light and improvised performances? He encouraged actors to move and speak organically, capturing spontaneity and authenticity. Combined with Emmanuel Lubezki's luminous cinematography, each shot becomes a painting, each moment a meditation, pulling the audience into both personal and cosmic scales of existence. Ebert admired the film's audacity. It asked profound questions without giving easy answers. What does it mean to live a good life? How do we reconcile love, loss, and grief? How do we find our place in the vastness of time and space? These questions unfold not through dialogue alone, but through imagery, sound, and rhythm, allowing viewers to experience thought and feeling simultaneously. The Tree of Life isn't just a family drama, and it isn't just a visual spectacle. It's a philosophical journey, a cinematic poem that invites audiences to contemplate the beauty and fragility of life. Malick blends memory, nature, and the cosmos into a tapestry that lingers in the mind, evoking awe, reflection, and sometimes discomfort. Roger Ebert recognized The Tree of Life as a film that pushes boundaries, proving that cinema can transcend conventional storytelling and become an exploration of existence itself. Watching it, you don't just see a movie, you witness life, the universe, and the eternal questions that define our humanity. So, there you have it. 10 films that didn't just entertain, but reshaped the way we see, feel, and understand cinema. From the jungle madness of Aguirre to the cosmic vastness of the Tree of Life, Roger Ebert's selections remind us that the greatest movies are more than stories. They're experiences, emotions, and revelations frozen in time. Each one challenges us, haunts us, and stays with us long after the lights go up. Now it's your turn. Which of these masterpieces has moved you, unsettled you, or made your heart race? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, and subscribe for more cinematic secrets. Until the next reel spins, keep watching, keep wondering, keep feeling.